You fools! You did not know. You did not know that we have the God Case Keenum on their team. We tried to fool you with the Bradford the whole time. All right, slow down a bit. Slow down. We had a game. Monday Night Football. Vikings versus Bears. And yes, there was a football game too. Despite everybody only want to talk about the Star Wars preview. And also the Goku vs. Jiren fight. Let's talk about this Vikings vs. Bears game. Starting with my games recap. It's already enough. First quarter, Trubisky starts off looking good, and they have a very good game plan starting off, which is target number 26 is throwing up to Trey Wayne, then get those third down situations. Their offense is moving.
Bowlers at guard, sitting in long. Chicago quickly to the line. Trubisky's first throw is on target and a nifty catch along the sideline.
But they end up, I believe they got an offensive pass interference call on them, which they had a nice catch. There's a lot of iffy calls all game. I really didn't like these refs. Alright, so they ended up punting the ball. It was a good punt. The ball was out around the 10. The Vikings go on. Bradford looks awful. He was over 2. Vikings went 3 and out. To be fair, Stephon Diggs was fairly hurt throughout this game as well. So on the Lions' next drive, they punt after 4th and go. JK is what I wrote on here. So what happened here, this is the second drive, they had a 4th and short. They had their offense on the field. I don't think they were going to go for it, right? Then I think they called the timeout, or we called the timeout, one of the two. Then their offense about to go on the field again, but then their punt team goes their punt team goes first, then their offense. And then they get a delay of game call, backs them up 5 yards, which makes them have to punt it. But yeah, this is another drive where they keep picking on Trey Waynes. And I don't like Trey Waynes, I'll say it. But if I'm an offensive coordinator, that's who you're gonna target. So he's gonna look a lot worse than he actually is. As he's gonna be the focal point of the offense to attack him. Because Xavier Rhodes is too good, and Harrison Smith is good too, as we saw at the end of the game. Now in Vikings next drive, Bradford sucks even more somehow. We punt. Good play calling by the Bears. They get the mismatches once again, but they punt. Then I have written right here, Bradford blows with 3 or 4 S's. He looks so stupid out there, giving up a safety.
Yards. This is 3rd and 15. 3-man rush. All kind out. Time, and now he's out of it. And down for a safety.
WTF. That's literally my notes I have right here. He was sitting in the pocket. Didn't look like an NFL quarterback at all. Looking like a rookie. Looking like a lot like we would expect from Case Keenum or somebody who just got off the streets. I understand that his knee was probably hurting and was nowhere near 100%. But come on, you got to be better than that if you want to be an NFL quarterback. And he did not look good at all. You know he can be better, right? All right, next drive. This is where we really get helped by the refs. I believe it was 2 back-to-back calls. I think this was one where we got the pass interference call, and then in the very next play we got a holding call, which brought us back even more. So I thought this is where the refs helped us out, but later on it went the other way. So then they ended up punting. Then this is my notes right here. My God, Bradford still sucks. We get a first down, then we punt after Bradford gets a sack. So our offensive line on paper didn't look very good this game, but a lot of it was Bradford. He was standing in the pocket, not getting rid of the ball, especially on the safety. He was just in there way too long. They don't do much on offense, they punt. Then we get a first down, what are those? But then we punt. Next drive there, I think this is where they have a 2-minute drill right before half, I believe. And they're right at the 20 or 30 yard line. We get Everson Griffin sack, daddy! Strip sack! Everson Griffin, we have the good
by injuries really as any team in the NFL in recent years.
Yeah.
With Trubisky, stripped to the football, and the Vikings have it. Everson
position, and then we kick the field goal. Kai Forbath, I have right here, this is my notes. Game-winning field goal, question mark. I was thinking that this could be a 2-3 game. The Bears get the ball back. Sendejo absolutely killed the guy. I love the way Sendejo played. He looked silly later on in the game, but Sendejo has been lit this season. He doesn't look very great compared to Harrison Smith and Xavier Rhodes in the backfield, but he has looked great as a complimentary option. Don't look for Jaron Kearse to steal his position anytime soon. He absolutely killed the guy. It was right away. It was flagged for roughening the defender or the offensive guy, but then they picked it up. One of the few no calls that the refs did, so very surprising they actually picked up that flag. And then Bradford is out, which means the return of the God Keenum is in. Good return by Sherrills sets us up. Offense looks so much better with Keenum because, of course, he is God. We have a long drive, a few good screens, good jet sweep by Thielen. Touchdown, Rudolph. This one, Keenum scrambling to his right. He faked the safety to the right side, which let Keenum have a chance to cross over in the end zone. He threw it right on target, perfect pass, touchdown, Kyle Rudolph.
Defensive players, 2nd and 7. Strong drive to start the half for Minnesota. 13th play of the drive. Case Keenum throws a touchdown.
And this is where we did the biggest news of the whole football game. Duck, gray duck. It's
Kyle Rudolph.
It's duck, goose.
a gray duck, not a goose. This is Minnesota. I don't care. But it was funny that they're being such a big deal about it. Touchdown, Rudy. Next, when the Bears get the ball, our defense looks great. They really picked it up. But the Bears do a fake punt, and our defense was sleeping. Sherrills absolutely whiffed on a tackle, and they get a touchdown.
Marcus Sherrill standing back. It's a fake. Touchdown, Chicago.
The Bears punter gets more touchdowns than Trubisky in this game, so might want to look into their punter to be the quarterback. Just kidding. Trubisky looked good. They don't go for 2, so it's a 1-point game. Now Jerick McKinnon in the game because Latavius Murray did not look good, and he is actually useful.
Okay, actually useful.
Touchdown, Jerick McKinnon. We catch him off guard, do a sweep to the right side. He just darts forward for a nice long, about 30-yard touchdown.
They can't communicate. Great job by the Vikings.
And the toss to McKinnon on his way. Amukamara couldn't get him. Fuller is too late. Touchdown, Minnesota.
And now in the next drive, the Bears the long drive. I believe this is all second half. There's an offsides by Everson Griffin, and something he does about every game. He tries to time the snap count, and he gives them 5 yards. And then a tip by Sendejo. This is what I said. It was in the end zone. Sendejo wasn't about perfect.
Tremendous attitude. Trubisky to the end zone, deflected and caught.
Condition. He jumped right over his fingertips, right into the hands of the Bears offensive guy. Touchdown, Chicago. And now they do an awesome trick point play. I think this was one of the most unique plays I've ever seen. I believe it was a jet sweep to the left, and then they reverse it to the right, and then they pitch it to Trubisky for the 2-point.
Touchdown on a fake punt. Now going for 2 for the tie, and some trickery. How about that play?
I'm sure you guys saw it if you saw the game. It was a really fun to play to watch. I wish the Vikings would have thought of it first. But nevertheless, I had fun with it watching. I don't care that it tied up the game. I believe it was tied the game or within a touchdown. Next drive, Keenum with the big 20-yard run extends the drive. Jet had a big 20-yard run to the outside again, but then we have a block in the back penalty by Diggs. And then we have to punt. The Bears punt, we punt. The Bears are trying to have that game-winning drive with about 2 minutes left in the game. It's Mitch Trubisky trying to get his first NFL start, a game-winning drive. Intercepted, Harrison Smith.
Inside their own 20. They'll have to change that history if they're going to win it in regulation. Trubisky throws an interception. Harrison Smith.
Woo! The game over. We are getting good field position. We'll set up. We run a few times, get the clock ran down. And then a boy, no doubt in my mind, everybody knows he's the most sure-footed kicker in the NFL. High format, through the uprights. It's good. Game over.
Overtime, and he might be heading for the exits. That kick is good.
The Vikings win in Chicago in Monday Night Football. Overall, fun game. About as close as we thought it was going to be, right? It's Chicago. We somehow always struggle there. And we knew it wasn't going to be a blowout. And we were hoping Bradford would come in and play great, of course. The Keenum thing's actually a joke, believe it or not. But let's look at the stats. All right, so Bradford, 5 for 11 for 36 yards, a 3.3 average, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 4 sacks for 35 yards, and at least 3 of them were on him, 100%. A quarterback rating, 3.5. Christian Ponder, where you at? Case Keenum, 17 for 21, 140 yards, 6.7 average, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, 0 sacks, 79.4 QBR for Case Keenum, the god. So as you can see with these stats, 140 yards for Keenum, 36 yards for Bradford. Clearly, Keenum 4 times better than Bradford. 100% confirmed these stats. Now let's look over for the Chicago's throwing. Mitch Trubisky had a good game against the Vikings. It doesn't look very good, but 12 for 25, 128 yards, 5.1 average, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 1 sack for 7 yards, a QBR of only 11 and a 60.1 rating. So it doesn't look good, but the Vikings defense is the best in the league. And I think he did good, executed the game plan, throw it to where 26 is and get a few yards. And then the best quarterback the whole game was their punter, Pat O'Donnell. 1 for 38 yards, 38 average, 1 touchdown, no interceptions on 158.3. And you guys just try to say that Tom Brady's a GOAT when O'Donnell is still playing. This guy hasn't missed a single pass in his career, probably. Let's go. Let's see what we did running the football. Jerick McKinnon, a lot of people were writing him off, me included, was a stud in this game. 16 carries, 95 yards, a 5.9 average, 1 touchdown. His long was 58 yards, and he had some incredibly awful holding penalties to lose probably 30 or 40 yards on those as well. Jerick McKinnon was a man on fire. We used him very well. The Bears weren't really prepared. They were around like their 4th string linebackers. So don't expect this from Jerick McKinnon every game. But if we get half this much and then Latavius Murray picks it up, because my God, he has to pick up his game, we'll be looking really good. And let's talk about this trash in Latavius Murray. 12 carries, 31 yards, a 2.6 average. I thought we got rid of Matt Asiata. Apparently, he just stitched a Murray on his back plate, and he's back with the team. I thought we signed a Pro Bowl running back, but I guess it was just Matt Asiata back again. So whatever. You guys say bamboozled us, right? Case Keenum had a carry for 22 yards. It was a nice run. Adam Thielen with the jet sweep for 11 yards. CJ Ham 1 carry for nothing. Chicago running the ball. We held Jordan Howard in check, 19 carries for 76 yards, a 4 average, his long was only 13. Trubisky, 3 for 22, for his long was 13. Tariq Cohen, 6 for 13, couldn't get their rookie going. And Benny Cunningham had 1 for 4. Going to receiving. Jerick McKinnon led the team in receiving yards as well, 6 receptions for 51 yards, a 8.5 average, as long as 11 on 6 targets. Held all 6 in. Very good day for Jerick McKinnon. This is what we want. 140 yards total. And if we get anywhere, if we just get 100 total yards from Jerick McKinnon, we're happy with that. Our passing game should improve a whole lot, and once Bradford gets healthy, or my boy Teddy Bridgewater comes back healthy, we should be looking a lot better. Kyle Rudolph finally having a good game, receiving 6 receptions for 45 yards. He only got targeted 9 times, as long as only 13. Adam Thielen 5 for 34, and then pre-pedestrian under there. Michael Floyd had his first reception in purple, 1 for 19. Latavius Murray 2 for 12, again very disappointing day for Latavius Murray. CJ Ham 1 for 11, and Stephon Diggs only 1 for 4 because again he was hurt with a groin injury. I'm recording this on a Wednesday, the 11th. So, and I see on the injury report he did not participate in practice. I think he is a decent chance he won't play against Green Bay, and that's really not looking good for us. We want to make sure he's healthy if we gotta take the L against Green Bay, because we don't have our starting quarterback, running back, and as of a week before, the leading receiver in the NFL. It's not look very good, but whatever. Chicago receiving. Kendall Wright led the way, 4 for 46. Benny Cunningham 2 for 43, and then everybody else was under 40 yards. Fumbles. Jerick McKinnon fumbled on the kick return. stop being bad with that. Linval Joseph recovered one. Mitch Trubisky fumbled and lost it on the strip sack defensively. Linval Joseph led the way with 6 tackles, tied with Trey Waynes. Trey Waynes had a tackle for a loss. Andrew Sendejo had 5. Eric Hendricks had 5. Anthony Barr had 4. For the Bears, Christian Jones had 9. Adrian Armos had 8. Leonard Floyd had 6. Leonard Floyd had a good game. Matchup on Mike Remmers didn't look too great, but I said that was going to be a problem in my game preview. And Leonard Floyd is a very good pass rusher, and that's what Mike Remmers is going to struggle against. So overall, fairly predictable as far as what our defense would do and what our O-line did. We would like more from our offensive skill players, namely our wide receivers and quarterbacks, but when we had my retarded little sister playing quarterback for the first half of the game to get some discount money or whatever, it looked a lot better once we had an actual quarterback in there. You know, if the actual guy is just Case Keenum, he is much better than Bradford on one leg. So hopefully Bradford gets healthy in 2 weeks or so. That's what I'm kind of planning on, 2 or 3 weeks. Hopefully get him better. Make him as close as you can to 100%. Give him a full week of practice, then put him in there because he also just didn't look prepared. His reads are really bad as well. So make sure Bradford's back for when we want to bring him back. Teddy should be back in 2 weeks, I think, is when he can start practicing if he is as healthy as it sounds. So Teddy should be coming back. Let's see if we can compete against the Packers on Sunday. I'll be doing my game previewing that very shortly. But until then, we'll see you guys in the next JZ Vikings video. See ya.